Go.
Now I would like to call this meeting to order. Call the roll.
Trevor Smith,
Here.
Bailey Weimer. Here. Terry Howard,
Here.
Jonathan Schaefer,
I'm here.
and Josh Baker.
Here.
Go ahead.
I'm here too.
I know you're here, trust
Pledge to
me.
the flag.
Ruth Bourne is here. Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the consent of the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
No second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Few things on the mayor's staff list. Report is that if you missed it, we had one of the best tree lighting that we've ever had. And we need to thank Dale and for coming in and pitching tents and taking them down. That was a little chilly, but we got her done. I thought that it turned out really well. Only, their parade of cars was beyond phenomenal.
Yeah.
Want to thank you for getting that going, because that was pretty awesome. Any but one of those could have been the winner, and when you do the winners, you go third, second, first, you gotta support everybody.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're to the, Mr. Mendez and, Sasha. Did a good job, and I don't wanna brag on you much, Kimberly, but that stuff we did up at the fairgrounds with the sheriff's office, that went pretty good, and I appreciate the time and effort that you guys put into that. Because it is important to, be out there in the town and let them know that the town is taking a vital part in the success of our community. And then, kind of impressed a little bit, and I want to tell you about it. Our maintenance person, and, that's Mr. Mendez. He did a great job out there. I
Yeah,
just
he
can't
spent
tell you.
days putting those lights up this
Yeah,
year.
he-
I don't, you guys,
He loves what he does,
He
and
does.
he does it pretty good, so.
he does it with pride.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
They even
yeah.
put a picture at the, at Sunday service on the,
What did
at
they?
church.
Well, there, well, that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, so they talked
I
about
like
it with
that.
women's school.
So, yeah, on moving on, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. It's a busy time of the year. I know Christmas is coming up, and we look forward to seeing all of you next Saturday downtown here to have dinner, and we'll enjoy a little fellowship and have some fun. So, any of the board members have a comment?
I do.
Okay,
Please.
fire away.
I'll piggyback on what Rick said. We had an awesome event. And, I would like to stress to the board members that, part of our duties is to be engaged in the community. These events that we do are to engage the community. And I do my very best to be at every event to help out. I'm not asking that everybody be at every event. If you guys could, come in one or two events and help set up, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank goodness for Dale.
I'm bragging on that guy.
I know, don't be telling him this, Kim.
I don't. 'Cause I have
Stuff
to deal
wouldn't
with
get
it.
done if it hasn't been for him. I can't name how many events this man has showed up and used his physical labor that Kim, Sasha, and I don't have. So, that's it. I'm done preaching. I'll shut up now.
Anybody else? Ruth, you have anything?
The only update I have for everyone is that we did record the lien. And Mr. Digby's response or certified mail was returned today. So thankfully, we sent one regular USPS. So that just means he refused to pick it up.
Okay, anything else?
Not at this time.
Okay, Kimberly,
I don't have one personally, no.
you got anything on Public Works?
Just that the last piece of equipment sitting over at the shop is the blade. The auction company sold it for $350 and is not being claimed to date. They sent a demand to the gentleman that refused to pick it up, told him he had till November 24th to do it. And we never heard another word from him. So at this point, it's considered abandoned. The town maintains and keeps the money that was put forth on it by him. And they will put it back up for auction on January 9th with other government equipment again. So we'll have a second opportunity to try to sell it and get rid of it again.
Donation.
Thank you. On our code enforcement, you have a report in front of you,
Yes,
and we're still moving forward on that. So that we can take care of some of our code enforcement problems, but that's her report,
for fourth quarter.
fourth quarter, so. Okay, consent items, approval of minutes from November 14th monthly meeting and November 27th special meeting.
Don't move.
You approve them both?
Second. We can do that, can't we? Approve both of them?
You can
Yeah,
approve both of them.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. In your package, you got expenditures for the year to date, 23. Now's the time, if you have any questions, to ask them. If there are no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the expenditures. Motion to approve. Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, go. Any public comment out there? We'll give you 3 minutes of fame. You're speechless? Oh, no. All right. I'd entertain a motion to go out of the regular scheduled meeting at 7:08.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
One second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And now I entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All righty. Okay. 7:08.
All the vote.
Pardon me?
All the vote.
Say it again.
Call the vote.
Oh, all those in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, in our public hearing, we have ordinance 6, series 2023. Has amended emergency ordinance of the town of Kiowa, Colorado, establishing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance of applications for subdivisions, replats, plat amendments, multi-site developments, planned unit developments, rezoning applications, and declaring an emergency.
And this is to extend it, like we discussed previously, so that we can make sure we get those
That was on recommendation
Mhm.
from the,
planning
planning.
commission.
yeah.
Mhm. So this would take it out effectively till, I think they said May. Just to make sure we get everything into Minnesota.
All the I stuff, dotted and T's crossed.
But she's already started. She's already drafting those and been in communication with those Municipal people is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
So they're already setting up the formatting and everything and how it needs to be presented to them to get it in the most efficient manner. Our next meeting is to continue on the subdivision, which is our biggest section, so.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow
If
and
you
the
don't
next
have anything
Wednesday.
to do, those are very entertaining,
Loads.
so. Okay, motion to approve. ordinance six.
We don't do that in.
Never
public.
Oh, excuse me, can't do that. Okay, and B, any comments on that ordinance? My bad. Okay, under B, ordinance 7, series 2023. An ordinance approving rezoning of 515 Comanche Street and amending the town zoning map from PL1, schools and public lands, to MU, mixed use retail district. Any discussion on that one? Anyone have anything they'd like to add on that one? Okay.
What are you looking for?
Board members, anything?
What's the backstory on this?
On which one?
This one from the planning commission?
The backstory on it?
Correct?
On the school museum one? Or the,
What do you mean backstory? What are you looking for backstory?
515 Comanche Street, is that what you're talking about, Trevor?
Do you want one of them to speak to that? Or are you looking for safe builds?
This is for the school, correct?
Yes.
Okay, it went from the planning commission, yes?
yes.
And
Was
they
it for the-
sent, where, is there a letter in here?
They recommended an approval.
Okay, so they recommended it.
Yeah, you were there at those meetings.
I was not, because I was late.
Oh, I remember which meeting it was.
But yes, the planning commission approved it and forwarded it to the board.
That's what I was getting at. I didn't understand what you're saying.
Yo, Donnie, anything you'd like to throw in there?
More or less, we're looking to dedicate land in a minor subdivision and rezone to the Historical Society. The Board of Directors at Kiowa School approved this in June to dedicate the land. It was 10 feet just around the building, where we've cut out a parcel that goes from the highway back to a new platted alley for the Historical Society.
I did see the map.
I'm sorry?
I did see the map on that, the survey.
Yeah.
So they did it 20 feet, right? And it's like halfway between the museum and the school.
Yeah,
So
it's 25
it's like right at 20 feet for both, so setbacks.
It's actually 25, I believe. It's exactly 25
right
from
at
the school
25.
to the museum, so, yeah, so we hit the setbacks almost exactly. So, for that, so. And then we created an extension of the alley, the existing alley, we created an extension to that alley so they'd have access to the back to the edge of the new property line.
And there's some utilities that run up that alleyway as well.
Pretty much what locates all the utilities are in that alley, so.
Awesome.
The sewer cuts off before the end of the alley, but that's the only one.
Yes, Trev? Okay,
In public comment.
entertain a motion to come out of public hearing at 7:14.
So move.
No second?
A motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion to go back into the regular scheduled meeting.
So moved.
Okay, second. We have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay. I would,
Motion to approve ordinance 6, series 2023.
thank you, Trevor, motion to
Second.
approve, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All
We're
those,
looking at a May 1st timeline, is that correct?
say that again, Trev?
I don't know if May, it's falls, I think this is set by our meeting in May. Is that right, Ruth? What day did we figure in May is the deadline for this? We probably won't need all of it though.
Cause we always have a chance to,
Get through the
Yeah.
yeah, if we get
Yeah.
done early.
The deadline for the budget or for this?
No, for the extension on this emergency ordinance, that will land us in May. Is that accurate?
Yes, it's, I'm not hold on, I can pull it up. It's
Trevor's
a
asked-
the text. Cause I counted the 6 months, which is never a good thing for me to do, but, the deadline is in the text of the emergency ordinance. Like what the extension is to. Hold on, let me get it. I had your agenda up. I mean, we may want to count that because I never trust myself doing that. Hold on, I got it. Do you guys see that? It's in
Yeah.
there.
May 31st.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's from, so the original ordinance was approved until January something, 25th, I believe. No,
Okay. That was my question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, we have a motion and a second on ordinance 6, series 2023. Any more discussion?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I'd entertain a motion on ordinance 7, 2023.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor
Second.
and a second. Any discussion?
Who's the first?
I was.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay. All those in favor of ordinance 7, 2023, the rezoning of 515 Comanche, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. We're good to go, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We haven't signed that much.
Joe, next time.
everybody, if I don't see everyone, have a great holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry
Thank you,
Christmas
guys.
to you all. Thank you.
Here, I'll see some of you tomorrow and then later in the month, but not all of you. So.
Okay,
Ruth, you're not leaving, right?
you're not leaving, right?
No.
Couple
Okay,
more
good.
things. Under new business, resolution number 8, series 2023. A resolution to approve the 2023 recertification of values, in the town of Kiowa. You want to, hammer on that one just for a minute? Please.
Me? The county sends every year a recertification of our mill levies. They calculate them, we calculate them, put them over into a certification format. You guys have to approve them. And then I have to have them filed by the 15th. So these are due back to the county by Friday. This is the only portion that we have a deadline in 2023, I found out, that has to be submitted before the end of the year. As I said in my email, it was an oversight. I did not publicize a public hearing for our budget. So we have to have a 7-day publication of that for people to know that they can come ask questions about the budget when it's presented. So we did send that out for publication. It hits Thursday, even though it's gonna be on the January 9th meeting agenda. We've met our 7-day publication requirement by then. It doesn't have to be the 7 days preceding the meeting, just 7 days prior to.
Okay.
So when it goes out on Thursday, people will know on January 9th, we are talking about the budget in the public meeting. And they can come speak to it if they want. It's on view. If they come down here to town hall and wanna look at it, we will have the ability to, let them look at it. If they have any questions, they can come to the meeting with them.
Okay,
And then we can adopt it then. That's due by the end of January to the state,
the budget is when?
the end of January.
End of January, okay. Okay, I'd entertain a motion on resolution 8, series 2023.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Under old business, do we have any we need to hammer on?
No.
Okay, do we have any discussion or
Hold on.
commu-
Something.
Bailey has a question.
I forgot to ask something way back.
Oh,
So I was talking to, well, I'll get to the chase. And this probably should have been brought up way earlier. So do I need to wait?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want.
It was about pulling permits.
Pulling permit.
Mm-hmm. Because I am getting a new roof. And what Safe Built charged me for my roof, I was talking to her about it last week. And what the county charged my parents for their roof, the town is double for the roof. Double. I'm talking 500 to 250
For the application or the cost of
for the permit.
the permit itself?
Uh-huh. So I called the county and I asked that somebody return my phone call. We all know how that goes. But I don't know how to go about figuring that out, because to put it into comparison, my house is like half the size of my parents' house. So no way could it go off of what the square footage is of
No, it
getting
goes off
the roof.
did you put is it based on valuation of the project? Did you put a valuation on there?
So my parents' roof,
Uh-huh.
they put on their application, it was 60,000. And on
For a
mine,
roof?
yeah,
Yeah.
and mine is 21,000. So a third of the cost, double the price.
Wow.
So, and I know it goes through Safe Belt, but I'm like, I'm sure not a lot of people have places in two, you know, one for the
Mhm.
county, one for here, but I'm like, what?
Can you have your parents give you
Yeah,
what
we,
documentation?
I haven't.
Okay, can you give that to us? I would like to have a discussion with Safefield about that.
and
Yeah,
yours. And your application.
I have mine.
I really thought Ruth just said of yours.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
No,
I was like, wait, stop the show.
And yours.
Had
Yeah.
a long day.
But so that got me thinking, you know, what other kind of things are,
Way
is the
overpriced.
town way overpriced as far as what the county is charging? Cause then I put like my application, their application side by side, I'm like, I mean, if anything, the numbers should be
I
like.
I'm wondering if that's an oversight or an accident. So what we do,
Why does
correct me if
Safefield
I'm
have to
wrong,
approve that?
do what?
Why does
through
Safefield
town.
have to approve that? Well, I would think the town would be able to with their
No,
report.
No.
A permit should be administration,
No,
especially re-roof.
it's a structural.
Yeah.
No, if you're re-roofing, you're peeling this off and you're putting that on.
It's not that simple, Trevor. It's a structural thing. It's
Huh?
actually by building code.
I mean, that's what it
Is
is.
it? And that, I'm asking.
It's by building
sincerely,
code.
like,
Yeah, it's
what
sincerely,
makes
it's-
it go to that step?
It's a building code.
Cause I would
thing.
think as long as a roofing company and your insurance company had the documentation required, the town could approve without safe building.
So
Well, and you know, it's an interesting
2000,
thing that you say that,
Yeah.
because I've had roofs put on and I've never myself sought a permit to have a roof put
And
on
I'll
my
tell you,
house.
as a realtor,
You
that's,
have to have a roofing permit. You have to have it reviewed because it has to comply with the wind and rain,
Well,
and snow load requirements. So,
third.
I mean, they may be overcharging Or,
And they do, the roofing company will submit the application for permit,
Oh,
like as a courtesy to like their
For an additional
customers.
and the cost is included in the cost they give you to pay that.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at that, because
Yeah.
I didn't pay, when I re-roofed mine back 20 years ago, it wasn't.
Well, everything 20 years ago.
Well,
was-
and I understand that, but, you know, we should make sure that we keep up with Safe Built and just find out what's going on with Safe
Well, and
Built.
it may be a difference too of the requirements of the county versus the requirements for the town.
Well, yeah, so let me jump in real fast. In 2010, July is the week before our wedding. There's a bad hailstorm went through Kiowa
Yeah.
and it demolished every roof within 10
That's when
miles.
Fall Valley got
I mean,
rebuilt.
it demolished them all.
Yeah.
And
Ours got hit.
that was on the 4th of July. The week later, they had a town board meeting and they doubled the roofing permit at that meeting from $100 to $200.
Isn't there laws against
Cause I
that?
like to come apart when I heard that.
Well, now it's 5.
Well, no, but the thing is I moved into this house in September and we were just getting ready to have it roofed. Silva Pemberton still owned it. And I walked over here and I wrote the check for the roofing permit. And it was $250, maybe it's $250. I wrote the check here for the roofing permit. Michelle Oser handed me the permit and said, you're good to go. And that was all that was required on a roofing permit. Cause all you're doing is you're scraping a roof and you're putting it back on. In terms of the rating and everything else, that's more so between you and your insurance company. Cause the same deal was when I re-roofed that, the labor of roofing that house was more than
More than the roof.
more than the materials to roof it. So I went with I can't remember, 80-year whatever roofing shingle on that house. Cause it costs the same to put that on versus a cheap one and the insurance company's paying for it. So I did that. But that is honest to God in 2010, and it wasn't that long ago.
No, 13.
Except for the people that just moved to Kiowa, but it wasn't that long ago, and that's as simple as it was. Here it is, no different than a water heater. Technically, you're supposed to have a permit.
Oh, my house, they got a roof a year and a half ago.
You're supposed to have a permit for a water heater when you
611.
replace that, technically, but it's kinda easier to watch somebody re-roof a house than it is to watch them replace a water heater.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah, we
that's,
getting ready to replace ours here and we have to do a permit for the one here
Yeah.
in town hall.
but it should,
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
definitely.
See, I don't, yeah,
We haven't had hot water here all year.
so.
to me, that's not a permit issue.
Quick story, but no, that's.
So I'll check into
excessive.
that. So if you'll give me the documentation, I'll ask that question, why?
Mhm.
I mean, it's clear it's not just Kiowa charging for them though, because the county is charging for a re-roof permit too. So I'll ask why and then I'll check into,
You should be able to
costs.
pull the permit for my house, because then I had other questions too, about cause now the company that's doing it, I am not going with anymore, so I need to know if it's transferable to a new
Oh,
company.
Jesus.
Oh,
Well, cause I
Well,
can
you
get
paid
it
it
for
again.
like literally half the cost with a
Not,
different
well,
company.
maybe they doubled the roofing
Are
permit.
you going to a metal one?
No,
did they write the permit in that company's name or your name?
it was in Jam Roofing, JAM.
That could be the problem,
Yeah,
because if they, like I
Well, here
said,
is like a little picture. No, it just says property.
but if the
owner.
permit was issued in their name, it's because they applied for it and paid for it, which means they were gonna include that cost to what they were charging you. So if we owe anybody money back, it would have to be them because they paid for it.
So Sasha says that it is non-referable,
So refundable or
refundable.
transferable?
refundable.
Okay.
Cause now I owe them that because I'm not going with them anymore and they paid for it. So that's like that is what it is, but
Did you call Safebuilt personally, just make sure they're not charging you extra?
I have not. I have yet to hear back from anybody.
Call Travis, I'll pay you $5 if he calls you back.
I'll call Travis. That's what we do. That's what our job
What's his
is. No,
So.
that's not what you do as a board. That's not your lane, so stay out of it.
Here is how it comes out to $500.
It's a-
Building permit
Yeah.
fee was $349.25. Tax use is $163.64. Total $512.
You know what tax use is?
That's our sales tax.
No, tax use is the cost of the materials that they are buying. That's just for the cost of those materials.
So the permit fee is $349.
What was your parents'?
Altogether with their tax use is $250.
So
So $100
let,
more.
let me jump on the tax deal. Elbert County tax rate outside of town of Kiowa is lower than inside the town.
Yeah, that is true.
But
The reason
even-
is we got, Elbert County is just state and county tax.
What's just mom and dad's permit fee?
And here's
Well, that's exactly
County,
it, cause
state.
with their
Kiowa.
permit fee, say it didn't even include their tax, but it did, was still $250.
Yeah.
And for the town right here is $349. So there's still a
So
fluctuation.
the, part of that difference is the tax, which I. didn't
But
think
tax
about.
rate.
Even if
But
their
the
tax.
straight permit fee, there's a difference between the straight permit fee of the two.
Exactly,
What was your tax total?
5.1% here.
Yeah, we have one
so,
of the lower ones, and we haven't attempted to get a higher tax rate because we know it's not gonna pass.
That's right.
Well, we could definitely, we just fell out.
Yeah. So give me that documentation. I will ask those questions if they built and
you
see why.
should be able to pull up my permit though.
Well, we can pull your
Right,
permit, but your
and-
parents' stuff.
Yeah, that
So I
I'll
can
send
see that.
you.
We couldn't see your parents, but.
Because
That
what
I
we
will
do
see.
is we get your information, we forward to Safe Built, they communicate back and forth with Sasha if they got everything. And once they've got everything, they process it, they send us an email says, we've processed it, it's good to go, this is what the permit cost is gonna be. We notify the homeowner that this is what we need for the permit, we collect it, once we collect it, we let Safe Built know we've collected it,
Mhm,
and then they release the permit
mhm,
to go to you. That's our in-between,
mhm.
what we do. That's it. We don't calculate any of that. We don't know how. I personally, I've never inquired into how they calculate those, to be honest with
Right.
you. So if
We can.
we can ask. and we
Yeah,
can
well,
learn.
and if I ever get a call back from the county, I would like to know what some of their permit fees
Well,
are.
I'll call over there and see if they'll talk to me about it, or I'll
Okay.
just walk down there and in their office and tell them.
I almost walked in there, I'm like, better not today,
Ours was,
Yeah.
better.
ours is in the last 2 years, our roof was done,
And what was your address?
611 Shasta.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna encourage everyone, because if we have
Cul-de-sac was done.
any big storms, the roof little guys that,
Go door to door.
whatever you call those guys that just come out here and try to get you to
Storm
sign a
chasers.
contract. Yeah, storm chasers.
Usually Shasta.
I would encourage you to ask them, if they knock on your door, do you have a permit to do this in the town of Kiowa?
Sales permit.
And if they don't, then they need to come get one.
Mhm.
Because of that one storm Trevor referred to, we had at least 12 people come to our house. You need a new roof?
That was all summer.
Well,
Ours.
and if they do that, ask them too. Did you go to town hall and get a permit to be coming to
That's
my
what I'm
door?
saying, get a permit.
Inquiring if I want your business?
That's the storm that tore up my truck.
I have one more
was
thing.
18 miles.
We'll check into
here,
that,
my
young lady.
sister's. There you go.
Yeah, and I will definitely attempt to do this too, because, I mean, I do feel like our fees should reflect, what some of the county fees
Yeah,
are.
but like Trevor said, the tax rates are different too, which could account for some of that as well.
Well, that's why I was curious what just their,
So that use tax,
Permit fee.
so you guys
But
know,
even if it was just $250, ours was $100 higher.
well, but
Yeah,
what
but
if it's
some of it too,
$100 in
like I
taxes?
said, is
Yeah.
like what they require. Like where I came from, the county's requirements for safety and that kind of stuff were much less. They didn't have as many requirements as the town did. So we had a contractor, we used to call him One Stick Mickey, because if you put one stick rebar in your driveway, that counted as rebar.
Yeah.
Hell, yeah.
So,
Call him.
yeah, and so the county stuff cost less because they have less stringent requirements for building.
True.
Yeah, I'd be curious to put two and two together. One more thing. What is it called? Is it Prism or something like that? Pyramid Contractors, the guys off of 86
Okay.
that just went up. Did they ever get a business license put through?
They have an application, so
Okay,
I need to have them, I need to talk to them, need to go before planning and then you guys.
Okay,
So they have turned in an application,
okay.
so we just have to run them.
Because I asked their employee about it and she said she put it through and I'm like, well, maybe we'll see it at Tuesday's meeting.
Yeah, no, so it
Didn't
needs to
go
go
that
to,
fast.
it has to go. to
And they
planning
just-
first.
Well, and she was like, I put it through a long time ago, but I'm like,
Yeah, not that
how
long.
long ago?
Well, and they could have
But a
put it in a
long
long
time
time
ago,
ago,
2
but
weeks.
did you submit all the stuff you needed at the time? Or we've been back and forth, back and forth,
Right.
back and forth for how
Right.
long? To make sure we have everything we need to get it done.
Yeah,
So it's sometimes
So
it's
it
like
needs to
pulling
go,
teeth.
needs to go to planning and then.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I was just curious because
Hey,
they
thing.
went like, kind of from outside of Kiowa to here. So I'm like, well, I hope they at least did the step to get a
Mhm.
business license.
Yeah, so they did drop off the application, so
Okay,
it's gotta go through a series of steps.
okay.
And one more comment before we move on, is that Andy has resigned his position on the board and on the planning and variance committee.
stand by just one.
So you know that,
Stand
but
by just one.
yeah.
Ruth? Is that something that needs to be discussed in executive session or can it be talked in public forum?
The resignation, I mean, we just need to post it.
Post it, post
There's
for,
no, the new opening.
correct, but is talking about his resignation something that we have to do in executive session or in public forum? Is that
I
okay?
wouldn't, I don't recommend commenting on it. I would just, it's a fact.
Just giving them
Okay.
information.
Right.
Everybody's aware of that because I sent it out this morning via email to everybody.
I have a question that pertains to that, but it's not directly about like, so person.
Uh-huh.
On some boards, you get to appoint somebody.
That's what's gonna
Is-
have to happen.
Okay, I didn't know.
And
if
fill that
we-
position until the next election. That's what our charter says.
Okay,
That's
and that's
what
what
I
I
had to look up.
thought,
We
okay.
Yeah.
got 90 days, so.
Yeah, and we do, we are putting out applications. So we've had somebody take an application already, so. Once we've gotten that back and we've secured that and that's guaranteed, then we'll let you guys know that somebody has applied for it. Yep,
Do we get an interviewer?
I got an application in. Thank you.
The whole board can, I mean, the whole board can interview a candidate and then, or candidates, and we could post it and appoint that person for the remainder of the term.
Yeah,
It's actually for the remainder of.
Andrew's turn.
Andrew's term, so it'll be,
No, it's like for till the next election.
which is next December.
So it's
Right.
the remainder of the year.
mhm.
Oh, I thought it was
Mhm.
the,
You don't,
It's till the next biennial election, which is next December,
okay.
or well, November.
Yeah, November.
but it, in past, we have,
Tim did that, didn't he?
Huh?
Didn't Tim do that?
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
and Jonathan. In the past, we've made it where it was published and then the following meeting, say we got 15 applicants. But,
Or one?
Oh, that's
but
fine.
we let one, basically we bring up the next meeting. So if it as quick as close to this meeting as it happened, we probably honestly wanna look at, obviously in the January meeting.
Oh, yeah.
But we do,
Those aren't
Publish
meeting
it.
until January.
that being said, I think one of us needs to. We need one more person to show up tomorrow night.
Or to get a quorum.
Oh,
At planning, Terry's always there.
Can I do Zoom tomorrow night though?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Well,
I might be on
yes, I
Zoom.
have
Yes,
to.
you to step up more than ever now.
I don't know, somebody here,
Not
it's
as
sunny.
people.
I'm gonna be on-
Yeah, that's for sure.
I know you're
And
gonna
that
be
Carla.
Okay,
I don't have to interview her. She does my hair, so.
We talk to her all the time.
Yeah.
okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn
An emotion?
And a
I
motion.
emotion that we adjourn.
at 7:39. Second,
I'll second.
I third.
any discussion? Thank you for coming. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I-
See ya.
Kim? I mean,
Hold
you
on.